Hi there, this is Teri from Stamping Magic. Welcome back to my channel. Today's project is this wallet. I've used the Feels Like Frost 6-inch designer series paper together with the Perfectly Plaid stamp set. It's up to you what you put inside. I've added some money and also a gift card, but if you're a demonstrator you may want to add a voucher. Now, I've made several of these in the past, but I decided to change it up this time and add a belly band. So let's get started. These are all the measurements you need for the various elements required to create this project. So if you're interested in reproducing it, you can take a screenshot and refer to it later. I have half a sheet of blueberry bushel cardstock here. I'm going to position it into my scoreboard with the long side across the top and score down at 3.5 inches and 7 inches. I can now fold on the score lines and burnish them with my bone folder. The smaller section will go at the bottom and that will form my pocket. And I'm just going to add a very thin line of glue along both edges. If you want to, you could use an 1/8 of an inch tape adhesive to do this. I've already layered my Feels Like Frost designer series paper onto the silver foil mats, and I can now add these to the pocket front and the front of the wallet. Now the sizes for this you can find on my blog, but there was also a screen detailing all the measurements you need at the start of this video. So if you've missed it, go and have a look back at the beginning. Now you want to layer the paper onto the belly band. Now ideally your paper would be the same length as the belly band, but you can get away with a 6-inch strip, and as this paper is 6 inches square, that's the only option we've got. So all you have to do is add your glue and then position the paper centrally onto this strip. You'll just have a border at the top and the bottom of the blueberry bushel showing. I'm going to use my grid paper to help me wrap the belly band around my wallet. Now I've got my wallet set on one edge and I've set it in the middle of my grid paper. Then I've placed my belly band behind it, and you just want to make sure that you've got an equal amount on each side. Then gently wrap your belly band over, and it will overlap, which is absolutely fine. Don't make it too tight, otherwise you'll have difficulty getting the belly band on and off. You can then add your glue to the overlap, press the other side on top again, just hold in place for a second or two until it takes, and test your belly band. Make sure it's not too tight or too loose. Because I've used wet glue, I've got a few seconds to adjust it if necessary. I've got a couple of scrap pieces of Whisper White cardstock here, and I'm going to do my stamping on them. I'm going to stamp the tree using blueberry bushel ink, and then I'll punch it out using the coordinating pine tree punch. I'll be using the Delicata Silvery Shimmer ink for my sentiment, and I'm just prepping my cardstock with an embossing buddy to remove any static before I stamp. And then I'm going to cover this with silver embossing powder. I can then melt the powder with my heat tool. I'll cut this out using one of the Stitched Shapes oval dies, and this is the second size up from the smallest. I used the largest 2 stitched nested label dies to create my mats for the belly band, and I've embossed the white mat using the Swirls and Curls folder. I used one of the scalloped layering oval dies to create a mat for under the sentiment. This is the 3rd size up from the smallest. I've also added dimensionals onto the reverse of the sentiment and the tree. So I can remove the backing from these now and position them onto my mats. I'm going to use dimensionals to secure my mats onto the belly band, and I'm adding them onto the belly band, not on the back of the mat. I can then remove the backings, and then I can position my panel. I'm now going to add some extra sparkle onto the tree with my clear Wink of Stella pen. Now this does reactivate the ink, so you can get some slight smearing. So if you're not happy with that, don't use your pen. I'm going to finish off the tree by adding some of our metallic pearls. These come in a pack with both gold and silver. I'm going to use the silver ones. This is the Perfectly Plaid stamp set. I completely forgot to show it to you earlier. I used this tree and the Merry Christmas sentiment, but you've got 3 other trees that you could use if you prefer. And that's it, my wallet is now complete. So I can add my money inside and a gift card, and it's ready to go. Now I have made several more of these. This first one is again using the Feels Like Frost Designer Series paper, and it's in Balmy Blue. And then I made another one in Night of Navy, again with the Feels Like Frost paper. And then I made some of a different design. Now this still uses the Perfectly Plaid stamp set, but I used a different die for the mat that goes underneath, and this is one of the stitched labels dies. The embossing is in gold this time because I used the Wrapped in Plaid Designer Series paper, and this has gold highlights running through it. Now this one is in Shaded Spruce, and then my final one is in Night of Navy, and these all use the Wrapped in Plaid Designer Series paper. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this project. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe and hit that notifications bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. Bye for now.